Hi, Sweepy.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
How are you?
I'm alright. I just been to feed the goldfish.
How are they?
They're not in the best state.
Hmm.
The one I had to free one the other day from this weird kind of. It looks like synthetic netting, but it is green and it breaks up like really easily.
As if it's organic material. It's very, very, very fine, isn't it?
Very fine. It's really weird, and the little baby goldfish are getting stuck in it, and I had to free one because it wasn't able to wriggle.
No.
That
It
was
was
really
awful,
sad.
and one died as well from that netting.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you caught this other one. You've got the good eyesight, so you spot them better than I do.
Yeah.
I was blissfully unaware.
Mm.
But otherwise, the pond's looking pretty good. We've got a lot of slime algae, which isn't great, but we're figuring out how to combat that. You use this barley straw, apparently, and that depletes the nutrients that the slime algae lives off.
Yeah.
So that should be arriving in the post soon. And you don't put it in the bottom, you leave it near the top so it can get oxygen, can react with oxygen. And
Okay.
we should sort that problem within the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Because it is taking over the pond.
Completely. Another good way, apparently, is using big leaved plants in the pond because they take up a lot of nutrients. So there was one actually called water lettuce, which I had looked up and looked absolutely perfect because it floats on the surface, has these enormous roots which dangle all the way down to the bottom of the pond.
So you told me, order this now, Mummy.
Yeah.
And I said, let's just check it out.
Yeah.
And how does it stop the slime algae?
It just covers the surface of the pond, so it completely
Blocks
will
out all the light.
invade your pond.
Yeah.
So you do want to be a little bit careful. But
We're not going with that.
no, we're not going to go with that. But apparently red-leaved plants are particularly good in the pond because they take up a certain type of nutrients, which is very good for depleting algae.
Well, we'll try this barley straw and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think we should have a look at this episode of Good Old Chit-Chats. Mm-hmm. This one is with Martin from the Big Cactus Rescue.
Yeah.
He was so much fun, very funny. He was
Really funny.
Really funny. He had you giggling a lot.
Yeah.
He was on Gardener's World back in 2023. Apparently
Yeah.
they'd come and filmed much earlier than that.
Yeah, like
and
a year or so earlier than that.
yeah, he said quite a while before, and he talks a bit about the day of filming with the team,
Yep.
with the crew. He talks about his dog. His
Oh,
dog's
this was so
involvement,
sweet.
his-
Because Hobbs was in the room and she sighed at one point, and then so we started talking about dogs.
Yeah, we talked about tortoises,
Yeah.
cats, cat litter. We covered a number of bases, didn't we? But most importantly, we covered his dream garden.
Yeah, and the really cool plants that were in it. There
Really
were a
cool
few
plants.
gruesome facts in there, but we had a lot of fun.
Most of the plants I'd never heard of, so when I was looking them up, it was so interesting to see all these.
Yeah.
Mostly desert-based plants, but really interesting looking things.
Absolutely amazing. So, as usual, the kind of structure of the podcast was your garden boundary, then shed or greenhouse, 5 ornamentals, 5 edibles, 1 statement tree, pond or pool plus 1 plant, and your favourite seating area plus your favourite drink plus 1 plant for that area.
Yep. And Martin hit us with all of his.
Yeah. And cool blimey, was it a really cool
It
dream
was
garden.
quite unusual. It was very different to any we've had so far, and that's just
Yeah.
what we want.
Exactly.
The more interesting stuff, the better.
Yeah.
So I think we should get stuck into this one.
Yes, let's go.
This is a good old chit-chat with Martin.
Yeah.
Welcome, Martin, to Good Old Chit-Chat.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
No worries.
We saw you right at the beginning of 2023, wasn't it? You were on, I think, episode 2 of
Yeah.
Darkness World.
It was recorded years before that, though, I think. And it seems
Really?
like forever, yeah.
Why was it recorded so far in advance of airing it?
I don't know. They got in touch and they said it was gonna go out like the week after. And then, I don't know, there was just some delay. I figured they just didn't want to put it out because, for whatever reason. And then I didn't hear from them for like a year. And then they were like, oh, it's on tonight. And I was like,
Yeah.
completely
wow.
forgot about it, pretty much.
How
wow.
did they get in touch with you?
One of the researchers sent me a message on Instagram. He was a really nice guy, but when I got the message, I was like, yeah, right, Gardener's World. I didn't believe it for a second because it was like an account with no followers, and I just thought it was a scam. But no, he was yeah, he was real and he was a nice guy.
And then they arranged to come to yours because we've spoken to some of our guests. They just haven't had any presenters turn up. Oh, actually, you didn't have any presenters either, did you?
No, just the film
Just
crew.
the crew.
Yeah.
And how did that work?
Well, they were filming with us all day. It was like we had no idea what to expect. We hadn't done anything like that before, and they got here really early, and then we were just blah 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 talking away all day long, and they've somehow managed to edit it together into some sort of story.
Something coherent.
Yeah, not the story we were telling, but they.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was different about your story?
The whole thing was like the reason why the cactus thing started was because of lockdown.
Sorry, this is as in the Big Cactus Rescue, or just generally liking cacti?
Yeah, just generally. And I mean, they're one and the same, really. The Instagram kind of started at the same time. Yeah, I started collecting or started the cactus project because it was lockdown. I'd just moved, had a garden for the first time, and then there was no work, and I just had loads of time on my hands and got involved with that. But we weren't allowed to mention COVID or the lockdown or anything like that on gardeners. I don't know, they just didn't want to be miserable, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And also, I think a lot of places are afraid that it kind of flags them up because there was so much policing over COVID on social media, wasn't there?
Yeah. But because that was the story of how it all started, I just kept saying that. They were like, could you not mention COVID? And I was like, yeah, sure. But yeah, so they managed to edit it together in a different way and cut all of that stuff out. But they did a really good job. It was really good.
So when COVID hit, you were in lockdown because you're a sound engineer, right? So normally you'd be on the road. Is that how it would work?
Yeah, a lot of festivals and gigs and club nights and all sorts of stuff like that. But I was in Manchester and I moved down to Reading with Trixie just as the pandemic started. So I had every intention of sort of moving the business down south and just sort of carrying on with it, and then it all stopped. Yeah.
And why did you make the move from Manchester to Reading?
For a girl.
For Trixie.
Yeah.
So that's her neck of the woods, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Her hometown. And then the episode came out, and we got to see that you essentially had taken over Trixie's greenhouse.
I think.
This is the story that came out as well. Maybe that was true. I don't know.
Maybe. And so, what's the situation now? Do you still have cacti everywhere? And
yeah, it's moved on quite a bit since that was filmed. Yeah, I've got 2 pretty big greenhouses now. Absolutely chocker. I've got a propagator in the living room, which is basically a mini greenhouse.
Yeah.
And we've just built a fernery, which yeah. So ferns are a thing now.
How did the ferns come about?
Well, we've got this little outdoor space at the back next to the sort of kitchen extension, and it had like a roof on it, but it was leaking and it was falling apart. And we've been talking for ages about building a little conservatory on the back there. But obviously, that is expensive, so it's been put off. And then a conservatory came up on our local free cycle group, but it was like 10 times the size what we needed. And obviously the guy wanted us to take it all, so we dismantled that and dragged it over here, and I've had to sort of hack it up and cut it and make it fit, and it's really good.
Oh, good.
Big aluminium bench in there with gravel on it, and it's filled up pretty fast.
So what sort of size is it?
4 meters by 3, something like that.
And just full of ferns?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got loads of staghorn ferns on the walls and all sorts of stuff. The problem with ferns is, unlike the cactus, cactus are quite difficult to come by, especially the ones that I'm into. But ferns, you can just go down the garden centre and they're like £3. Yeah. It's far too easy.
So what that means is you have far too many?
Yeah, already, 2 weeks on. And
you have to look after them quite differently to how you look after a cactus.
Yeah, the ferns are Trixie's department. It's Trixie's fernery, really. But it's really perfect conditions for them because the roof is quite cloudy. So it's a nice shady spot and it's quite cool. And I've got a automatic watering system that just blasts the whole thing with water on a timer.
Wow.
Brilliant.
So we don't have to do much, really. Very different from the greenhouses.
Yeah. So plants are still your passion then for both of you?
Yeah. Well, Trixie's a gardener, so she does it all day, every day for work. So she's
Oh,
not
okay.
that enthusiastic. But the fernery's kind of sparked her
That's
into
her
it
baby.
again. Yeah, it's
And
really nice.
did she ever get a Shetland pony?
No, she never got a Shetland pony.
Poor Trixie.
She, poor thing. She still hasn't watched the episode. She can't
Oh,
sit through it. Like when it went out live, she kind of sat on the sofa with her hands covering her eyes.
oh,
Oh
bless her.
no.
And then she hasn't looked at it since.
Oh, Trixie. So she's not keen on being on the big screen then, or the small screen, any screen.
Well, it was funny because, like, at first she wasn't, and then, like, because she works in gardens, all her clients were like, "Oh my god, I saw you were garden as well!" Oh my god, and she was like famous for like 24 hours,
Yeah,
and she quite got into it. She was like kind of waiting for more TV appearance requests, but they never came.
you wouldn't know that it wasn't her thing because she just was so natural. She came across so cool
Yeah.
and really funny as well. Like she had us in hysterics when she was speaking. She's got real sort of timing.
Very good editors down at the BBC, I think.
Yeah. Well, for the purposes of today's podcast, we're going to be looking at your dream garden. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's not just going to be filled with ferns and cacti.
Well, it is.
Is
It is.
I'm going to ruin your format because my
As
dream
long-
garden is a greenhouse, basically.
That sounds great. We're up for anything.
Right, so to start out with your dream garden, what would you like as your garden boundary? So surrounding your garden. It could be a hedge, a fence, whatever.
Glass.
If
Yeah,
you want
probably glassed and cast iron. Now, we've talked about it quite a lot. We've got quite a big, long garden, and we've often sort of toyed with the idea of just turning the entire thing into a greenhouse or a polytunnel.
Whoa.
Obviously, it's never going to happen, but that would be cool. So I reckon my dream garden would just be basically one of the big glass houses at Kew Gardens.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, are you a detached property?
Yeah,
So, you could get away with doing what you wanted with the garden.
we could, but we probably shouldn't. We've got enough greenhouses. But it would be. I just love those old Victorian
Yeah.
cast iron with the domed roof and everything. They're just
Really
incredible.
stunning. So, your entire garden is going to be like that. So, you're going to have a very kind of tropically feel.
Well, it's kind of, yeah. The temperate house at Kew is my thing, and obviously the cactus house. So it'd be nice to have like 2 rooms. Because the tropical house is too hot, you can't sit in there and relax. So the temperate house for half of it, and then the cactus area, desert area at the back would be amazing.
Okay.
What is the temperate house? Is it just a temperate climate, I suppose?
Yeah, it just never freezes, so you can have sort of tender
Okay.
plants in there, but they don't need loads of heat.
Yeah, okay. Right, so you're wanting cast iron, big, all the way around. Just huge.
Cast iron border, yeah.
Yeah,
Victorian
cast iron.
architecture.
Yeah, Kew Gardens, half of it's temperate, half of it's for the cacti.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that brings us...
It doesn't bring us anywhere, let's be honest, Soupy.
Sorry, I'm not sure what you're after.
I'm
but
about to
that's my
ask
answer.
you a really weird question. Would you like a shed or a greenhouse in your greenhouse?
Can I have a shed in the greenhouse?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, there we
Yes.
Need somewhere to keep stuff.
go. Yeah.
Exactly. What would you want in your shed, for example?
Cat litter?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a
And-
cat?
No.
No.
We did have a cat, but he passed away, sadly.
Oh.
Absolutely love cats, but now
Aw.
we've got a dog.
What? How did that
Yeah.
come around?
Oh, exactly. That's
Is
a
it
good
Trixie?
question. Yeah.
She's a dog
Yeah.
lover.
Do you absolutely love dogs now?
Yeah, that's the story, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of
No,
dog?
we've
have
got
you
a dog. She's a Portuguese water dog called Ario.
Are they the ones with the mad hair?
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
that like looks like a mop.
No.
Oh.
It really... She's got black curly hair that grows... It's like human hair. They don't
Oh,
molt.
no.
Which is
Wow.
like one of the main criteria that I had when she decided she wanted a dog was that the house isn't covered in dog hair. So
Yeah,
a little bit of
enough.
research, and there's a few breeds that don't molt,
Yeah.
and this was one of them. But she is brilliant. I mean,
Is she?
as a puppy, absolute
Oh.
living nightmare. I've never experienced a puppy. So
Because getting a cat's easy, isn't it? The mother
Oh.
has usually done everything with
Yeah.
the kitten, hasn't it? Getting a dog, it's just like having a baby.
I mean, I've never had a baby, but I reckon it's worse.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of effort for the first couple
That's
of years.
probably not the thing to say, but yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I guess babies are bad too. I don't know.
Babies are awful.
They're really awful.
How old's your dog now?
2.
Oh,
Just
still
just
puppy.
2, yeah.
What's his or her
Yeah,
name?
she's chilled
She?
out. Ario,
Ario.
Ario.
as in
Sweet.
Ariocarpus, which is a type of cactus.
Oh, yes.
That was another one of my stipulations was that I got to name the dog.
Ariocarpus. Oh.
I suppose when you think about it, it's kind of a really, really small Shetland pony. So she kind of got
Go with that.
she kind of got what she wanted.
The Shetland pony's still on the cards.
Oh.
We've been
living in the glass house.
Our neighbours next door the other day, they came around for a barbecue, and we concocted this plan to like split the end of the garden and get some goats and ponies in there. We'd had a few drinks and they agreed to it, so I'm going to start ordering fencing materials.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You agreed.
And if you want anyone to come around and fence, I'm very good at fencing.
You're good at fencing?
Really
She's
good at
pretty
fencing. It's one of the first things I learned in gardening. We had to fence off the land.
Yeah, she's pretty handy with
Can
that.
you do goat-proof fences?
Oh my gosh, it needs to be like meters high.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Right, so you want cat litter in your shed. Have you got any specific
Yeah, I
tools?
should probably clarify, because that's what I use for potting my cactus, not for the cat. It's like it's molar clay, and it's like really absorbent, and it's really good for cactus because it absorbs water really quickly and it dries really quickly, and it never sort of breaks down. It's really good stuff.
We took note of that actually from your episode. That seemed like a really good tip.
I mentioned it in the episode, but then sort of forgot to clarify what type of cat litter, or that it was a specific type. So I got an awful lot of messages saying like, "Oh, I'm potting my cactus in cat litter and it's all turned into sludge." So I'm like, "Oh no!"
What type is it then?
It's pink molar clay. You can buy it for like bonsai and stuff. They use it a lot for that. But, yeah, it's a bit like, I guess it's like pumice or something like that.
Oh, yeah. So quite porous.
Certain types of exactly. Certain types of cat litter, it's just the same stuff as they sell at bonsai places, but way cheaper.
Right.
What else would you like in your shed? Have you got any like specific tools that you'd use for any of the plants, the cacti specifically? So you don't destroy your hands?
No, not really. My hands
Just
are pretty destroyed.
Cat litter.
Just
Sacks and sacks
cat
of
litter
stuff.
and plant pots, I guess.
Yeah.
And plant pots.
Yeah, the only tools I really use is like chopsticks for poking the soil.
All right.
And a brush for wiping dust off.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. With the spikier cacti, how do you even do it? Like touch them? I mean, yeah, when you need to like take it out of the pot, how do you do that?
I don't know. I just do it. Like, there's pointless wearing gloves because they kind of make you overconfident, and they will pierce the gloves.
Of course.
But if you're just really gentle and don't push on the spikes, then they don't go through. But I guess I've got horrible leathery hands as well. That helps.
That does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
What colour's your shed?
Black.
That's a
black shed.
So if you heard that grumbling behind me, that's Hobbs, our dog. She likes to express herself quite regularly through these.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so sorry, what colour did you say the shed was? Blacky grey?
Yeah, I mean,
dark grey.
Black. Just because we're miserable goths.
So that brings us on to your 5 ornamentals. So we'll start off with your first ornamental.
Your first cactus, I guess.
Oh, ferns are ornamentals as well, so.
First cactus. Like, you invited me on here, right? You knew what I was
We knew what was coming.
Of course. That's why we invited you.
Pink fluffy hydrangeas.
Yeah. Yeah, my first cactus is the Ariocarpus.
Which one is that?
Great question.
It's the Portuguese.
I could show you one, but no one can see. They're a Mexican plant. They grow really, really close to the ground, and they grow kind of like a little rosette. And they're sort of the same colour as the rocks that they grow in Mexico. They grow in limestone. Right. And they have a huge taproot that goes into the ground, and that's where most of the plant is under the ground. And they just have this beautiful little star-shaped thing on the surface.
Oh,
And
yeah. It's not spiky, is it?
no spikes. They have like wool, like fluffy wool in the middle of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Not they're really metal.
They're metal,
Okay, I'm
sweetie.
sorry.
Come on.
Brutal. Yeah. They're really slow growing and they don't do very much. They have absolutely amazing flowers later on in the season. In like September, they flower.
Are
Are
they
these the
pink?
ones with a fragrant flower? Or am I thinking of
Um,
something else?
I don't know. People always say, "What do they smell like?" I don't know if I've got a very good sense of smell. They don't smell much. No.
I suppose I've never thought to smell a cacti flower.
No.
Well, some of them smell, but I don't know. I'm not into it.
So what colour is the flower?
White, sometimes yellow, sometimes pink. Depends.
Okay.
How often does it flower?
Well, once a year, definitely. Usually later on in September-ish, but sometimes they can have a few flushes.
Did you see the cactus guy who was on Gardener's World a few weeks ago?
No, I missed it.
I think he's closing his business now because he feels he's at an age where he can't quite handle it, and he's desperate for someone to take over it. He has.
Yeah, I'll talk to Trixie.
It's enormous. Like, it's literally
What was he
polytunnels.
called? I probably know who
Brian
it was.
and Linda Goody.
Yeah, what's the place called? I know the name
It's
of the place.
Cactus Land. Cactus Land in Lincolnshire.
Yes.
Do you know
Yeah,
him?
it's Southfield Nursery, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, there we go.
I
That's
haven't been up there yet. I really should go before they close it. I've ordered quite a few plants from them
Are they
a
good?
while back. Yeah, they're amazing. They
Brilliant.
ship them like in the pot, and they've got this mad
that's
system
nice.
for packaging them, and they're always really good. I think my first bunch, when I first started collecting, I ordered like 50 tiny little 5 centimeter pots from them. Yeah, they're all pretty big now.
What do you think they can do then if they got all these cacti? Because their daughter was involved with the online buying and selling, or the online market, but apparently she suffers with really bad eczema, so she can't touch them and can't handle them.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what do you think they would do with all those plants?
I don't know. I know they've been trying to get rid of all their stock, but like you say, it's so big. They've got so much stuff. I think it came onto the market as a business a while back, but it comes with all the land and the house and all the greenhouses and the business. I think it was pretty crazy money, and they didn't get any offers, so they decided that they were going to carry on. But obviously, they're getting on, and they need to think about passing it on. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take it on if they want to give it me. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Put a word in.
Yeah. Put the hand up. All right. What would be your second ornamental?
Ornamental. Copy of Power. Yeah, they're from the Atacama Desert in Chile, and they grow on the coast. And again, they're super slow growing because
what
they're
kind of shape?
All sorts of shapes. There's lots of different species. The genus is Copy of Power. There's loads of different ones, and they're all, because they get such harsh sun, they grow this like white powdery surface on the skin as like a sun protection, and they look incredible. They're really quite endangered because of poaching and people taking them out of habitat, which happens with a lot of sort of slow growing plants. And the problem is because when they grow in habitat, they look very different to ones that have been grown in a greenhouse, because you just can't give them that level of UV. So they look different. So like there's kind of a big, very dodgy market for ones that have been taken from habitat because people prefer that look.
That's sad. But they don't keep that look, presumably, once they've taken them.
No, you can always tell when one's been poached. You look at it and it's all gnarly and like wrecked at the bottom, and then it's got this big green fluffy bit at the top where it's started to grow. But a lot of the time they just die because the poachers just rip them out of the ground.
And are they expensive if you were to buy them? Is that part of the reason for poaching?
I guess so. I mean, they're not. It can take 100 years for them to get sort of like a decent sort of size. So yeah, they're not grown commercially. You can't really buy them commercially. But there's a lot in collections, and a lot of the ones that I've got are from old collections from people that have passed away, and
So they're quite
Yeah.
big then?
Well,
Or
no,
medium?
not really. I mean, talking like 10, 20 centimeters is an old one. Sort of
Okay.
seed grown in the 70s. They'll get pretty small pot, but yeah.
So when you say they grow on the coast, what sort of ground do they grow in? Are they growing in a sandy ground or
Yeah, I guess
rocks?
so.
Or
Kind of sandstony, rocky ground.
yeah,
It's a pretty harsh place. There's not a lot
yeah.
of other plants down there. And I think
Mm.
they get their moisture from mist, like the
Mm-hmm.
coastal mists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the sea spray.
Not so much the spray, but I think like the mists that come in from the sea. I don't think they
Oh,
grow that
yeah.
close to the sea.
Oh,
So
okay.
if it's like that's one of the reasons why they grow so slow and why they look different to greenhouse grown ones is because they get so little water, so they can go, a year or two or three without any water whatsoever, and they just sort of
Wow.
stop growing.
That's very cool.
Whereas if you grow them in a greenhouse, you water them a lot and they grow a little bit faster, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
particularly fast.
And what would eat a cactus like that? Because it doesn't sound like it's a spiny one.
Yeah, they're pretty spiny.
Oh, they
A
are
lot of
Oh,
spiny.
them.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're quite delicate spines, though. I don't know if they're much protection, but there's not a lot of wildlife around. I think like goats and alpacas and things like that.
Oh,
But
yeah,
the
there's...
main threat seems to be poachers. But there
Mm.
is, they're very, very, very protected, and there is a lot of them. I'd love to go
Okay.
down there and see them. I've never been.
It's really interesting talking to you because it's a world that I'm not part of, and to hear that there's that issue of these plants being poached. You hear about rhinos being poached. You don't hear about these plants being poached, and
Cacti.
it's so sad to
Mhm.
hear, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mm.
it's awful.
Is there
The
anyone doing anything to protect them in the wild?
Yeah, there's lots of people. There's a guy I know from Instagram. He's Cactus Explorer on Instagram. He's a really cool guy. He's got a lot of followers, but he will always reply to messages, and he's really nice. I think he's from Australia, and he went out to Chile just basically to do that cactus conservation, and he does tours. So if you want to go out, he'll sort of meet you and take you around to find all the copypora, and he's really good. He's a good guy. So
How
he
does he
gives.
ensure he's not taking a poacher around?
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of the poaching is done by people who live local,
Mm.
but they need a market. So it's really important to make sure when you're buying a plant, be it on eBay or whatever, that you're sort of aware
Yeah.
of the difference between one that's been grown. I mean, the ones that are greenhouse grown still are incredible and they look incredible, but just not quite the same. You can tell. So
Yeah.
it's important to sort of that people know not to buy habitat plants.
So I guess if they're an amateur, then they could perhaps take photos and send it to someone like you or Cactus Explorer, and you could give some advice on whether
Yeah,
that's a
I think there's an Instagram account called I don't know, Cactus Conservation something. I'll find out what it's
Mm.
called. But they've done a really nice infographic, and they do like little posts about, a photo of a greenhouse grown plant and a photo of a habitat plant and things to look out for. And there's lots of information
yeah.
on
Okay.
there.
Yeah, it'd be useful. You have to send me the link to that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Good to see.
And you talked about eBay. Is eBay good for getting cacti, for example, or do you not recommend it?
It is. I mean, a lot of the plants that I collect, you can't really get them anywhere else. They either come from people's collections,
Mm.
like a lot of them. There's no commercial way of growing them because they're so slow. So
Yeah.
eBay is a good place, but the prices are just insane. Like,
Really.
It's a prize collection, so it's going to
yeah,
skyrocket high.
yeah, of course.
And these you would buy them from the UK, not from abroad.
Well, you used to. I mean, the whole Brexit thing kind of ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
You can't even buy from Europe now.
Mm.
And a lot of the nurseries in the UK most of the market was Europe, and then suddenly that you can only sell in the UK, and it's
Oh, nightmare. So that's businesses just
yeah,
blown
a
apart
lot.
then.
Yeah, of course, a lot of businesses suffered.
Mm.
Good old Brexit, hey?
Yeah.
Let's not start on that topic. I'll
No, well,
be here all day with you,
that'd
Martin.
be a different podcast.
That'd be a
Yeah,
very
a
different
lot of swearing involved.
So what would be your third ornamental?
Aztecium.
Ooh.
You can write that down.
Yeah, I got that.
They're
Aztecium.
again another Mexican cactus. They are probably the slowest growing plant on Earth, although don't
Mm.
quote me on that, but they are
Okay.
incredibly slow. They grow in Mexico, and there's only a few locations where they grow, and they
Okay.
grow on gypsum cliff faces.
Whoa.
And gypsum is really, really alkaline, and it's pretty difficult to grow anything on there, but they seem to do quite well. But again, only these tiny little locations, and again, suffering from poaching, like severely at risk, I think, because there isn't many of them, and there's only a couple of places where they grow. But they're super cool. I've got a load of seedlings going.
Are they easy to
They're
grow from seed?
No.
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 I've never
The ones I've got are about 2 centimeters across, and they're 7 years old now.
Wow.
Are you serious?
God, these plants have really got everything against them, haven't they?
2 centimeters across.
Well, they seem to be quite happy where time
In-
kind of runs different in the desert, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
get disturbed for
Well, if they're not being
hundreds of years.
poached, really.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what do they look like?
There's a couple of different species. I think there's 3, but I guess they look like a tiny little cactus, quite knobbly with very delicate spines and a little bit of woolly fluff on the top. And they have these
I think I've seen these
tiny
before.
little pink flowers when they flower, like miniature flowers.
And from the centre of the little round
Yep,
comes the
that's it.
flower. Yes, I've seen these before. They're really tiny.
Did
Yeah.
you show it on Gardener's World, Martin? Is that where we would have
No,
seen
I don't
it?
think
No,
so.
okay.
You see them in habitat. They do get quite big, maybe like 10 centimeters, maybe a bit less.
Whoa.
But they seem to grow out of the rock, so they sort of eat into the rock, and they just look like part of the rock, but they're just these little, look like little fossil shapes on the walls of the cliffs.
That's amazing to be using the mineral rock to grow out of completely different habitat.
Yeah.
What would be your 4th ornamental?
So this one isn't a cactus.
Oh.
Ta-da!
It's a fern.
Are you all right with this?
It's a fern.
No, it's not a fern.
Okay.
But it's not a succulent either. It's
Oh.
the Welwitschia mirabilis. Have you heard of this plant?
Never heard of that.
Come on, you bet you have.
No.
So they grow in the Namibian desert, and I think they're closely related to like a conifer, but they look nothing like a tree. They're really, really unusual plant. They have 2 leaves that grow continuously throughout their entire life from this
Wait,
sort of
just 2 leaves like that?
yeah,
Whoa.
two flat leaves that are like really stiff and sort of plasticky, and it grows continuously just sort of out of the ground, out of this like woody cordexy thing that comes out of the ground. They have a really deep taproot, and the leaves grow non-stop, and they kind of get shredded up and sort of die off at the ends, but they're still really hard. So in the desert where they grow, they kind of look like a giant pile of leaves because all the leaves get shredded up and they just pile up on top of each other. And they can live, I mean, there's lots of them down in Namibia and Angola that are over 2,000 years old. And
That's amazing.
Bizarre. And they're ancient as well. They're like one of the earliest plants on Earth. I believe because they grow on the coast of Africa, but there's fossil records from like South America of the same plant from when those continents were joined together.
That is so cool.
Incredible.
And now that they only grow on this weird bit of desert again along the coast. But no one can really explain how they can survive there because they're not a succulent. They don't store water, and all of the plants seem to be like 1,000 years old. So there's some theories that like the climate was different then, and they managed to germinate and grow. But the seedlings kind of struggle now because it's a lot drier, but because they have such a big taproot and this crazy leaf that kind of directs the mist, the coastal mist, into the roots. Whoa. Yeah, they're unbelievable. If you don't know about the Welwitschia, look it up.
Well, I'll be looking all of these up. I haven't heard of anything you've mentioned so far, so it's going to be a long night. How do they flower?
They don't. They have cones like a conifer,
Right.
so there's a male and a female plant,
Okay.
and they grow these male-female cones, and they look like a pine cone when all the little seeds have little wings on and they blow around in the wind, And there's thousands and thousands of seeds every year that get produced, and they just
Oh,
sort of blow off
crikey.
into the desert and don't do much.
How
No,
incredible.
too harsh a condition.
How did you come across those?
I can't remember. I don't know. I just sort of probably saw a picture of one on the internet and was like, what the hell is that? And looked it up and got absolutely obsessed to the point where now I'm growing seedlings. I've probably got about 100, 200 on the go.
Where do you get the seeds from of that plant, which no one has heard of?
Well, you can get them from botanical gardens. They've got a couple at Woolwich at Kew
Okay.
in the desert house. It's quite hard to spot because it's just two little strappy leaves on the floor in the sand. But yeah, if you can get the seeds. I don't think there's many people growing them in the UK, if any. But yeah, there's a place in South Africa that I was on a waiting list for like 3 years to get some seeds.
Whoa.
And and they don't produce cones until they're about 10 years old, maybe.
Can you
So
imagine
that's
waiting for
my
3
goal.
years?
Yeah, I did.
So you've been growing yours for how long?
I've got a few that are about 4 years old, three or four, and I've got a few that I started last year. But I built this propagator in the living room, so I've got like a flood and drain automatic watering system for them and lights and stuff, and they're doing really well in there.
Oh,
Have they got their 2
fantastic.
leaves?
Yeah, they've got the leaves. They start when they first germinate. They have sort of 4 leaves. They have the little false leaves, and then the real leaves start to grow, and they just grow continuously and coil around and keep going until they sort of die off at the ends and break off.
It's
That's
like an
very cool.
almost alien. It's
It
something
is.
that's
If you
so
see,
amazing.
yeah, have a look at pictures of them. They're crazy.
So have you put them on your Instagram?
Yeah, I've got a few pictures. I've got a
Okay.
picture of me at the Kew Gardens, like giving the thumbs up, stood
Next
next
to
to one.
Yeah.
But they're really weird because they grow in an absolute arid desert. Yet to grow them in pots, you have to water them every single day. Like if they would dry out, then they die. So I think that's why a lot of people in the sort of cactus and succulent world who had got into them, they just gave up because they assume that they're desert plants so they can tolerate drought, but they can't. In a pot, you have to keep them wet, which is why I've got this pump that floods the tray that they're in every day, and that seems to work really well.
So when you go on holiday, is everything just set up to keep being watered whilst you're away, or do you get a neighbour in? Or
Yeah, the cactus greenhouses don't need watering. They can go for weeks and weeks without any water. The fernery is a new thing. That's
That's a
just
whole
got
other
a
problem.
big sprayer. So yeah, it just mists the whole room. Because I built it on the decking that was originally there, so it's got like a drain underneath the decking. So I can absolutely fill it with water and it
perfect.
just drains away.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And yeah, the propagator that I've got going, it waters itself. There's like self-watering trays and the flood and drain tray for the Welwitschia.
You're well set up. So only another 6 years before they start producing cones then.
Hopefully, yeah, that's the goal. Try and get
Cool.
some seeds out there.
Right, so just to clarify, it's called a Welwitschia.
Yeah, well, it's a German name, so I think it's Velvitia.
Velvitschia.
Velvet.
But
That was too Russian. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that was a bit
Welwitschia. Welwitschia mirabilis.
Okay.
Something to do with the guy who discovered them, Mr. Velvich or whatever. He thought they were miraculous. The weirdest plant that you'd ever seen.
Wow. Right, brilliant. So what's going to be your 5th plant, your 5th ornamental?
Oh God, there's 5. So as well as the cactus and the Welwitschia, I'm also into the African caudiciforms,
Ooh.
which are a pretty vague description of a plant, but they're basically anything that's a succulent with a big swollen stem where they store water.
All right.
So I've really got into those. They're like little weird bonsai trees and sort of like blobs that grow weird vines out of them and all that sort of stuff. They're not like one genus or one family or anything. It's just a description of the form of the plant. So yeah, I'm well into those.
They are a succulent, did you say? Or they're not a succulent?
Yeah, they store water in the stem, and there's all different types and forms, but they grow kind of knobbly, like a blob. A lot of them grow under the ground, but you can kind of slowly raise them above so that you can see the cortex.
Okay. And you've called it a caudiciform.
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 It swells up, and then you say you can slowly kind of expose it.
Yeah,
How
as
do
they
you
get
do
bigger, you can just when you repot them, just raise them up a
Oh,
little bit
okay, I
more
see.
and raise them up until like the whole root is out. But a lot of them in the wild will grow on the surface. There's one of my favourites, which is pretty easy to get hold of, Dioscorea. I think some of them are from Mexico, some of them are from Asia. There's a few different species, but they grow this like it looks like a tortoise shell blob that sits on the surface, and then
Oh.
I think they're winter growers, so when the temperatures are cool, they throw out these vines that just grow everywhere, and they grow pretty fast. I've got a lot of seedlings of those going too, which are taken over
How long are these vines?
really, really long. They grow up trees and they scramble anywhere they want to go to find light.
Right. And then what happens when they've found the light? What?
It just has leaves. They have flowers, tiny little flowers.
Oh, I see. So it's not like a strawberry where it puts a runner out and then goes
I
into the ground
guess
there and produces a baby there.
no. They're just vines that have leaves and the flowers on them and the fruit.
So alien.
That's so cool. So would you like specifically the Dioscorea type, or is there a specific one that you would like?
Yeah, I'll have the Dioscorea. The
Okay.
Mexicana is a pretty cool one because it's got these cool teardrop shaped leaves, and
Oh,
they're a little
okay.
little bit more unusual. I think elephantippes is the sort of common one that you can get quite a lot, but the
Okay.
Mexicana is a bit more rare in sort of cultivation. But again, poaching problem with those,
Oh
like
no.
a lot of the older ones,
Whoa.
um,
But these are faster growing.
they are, but I don't know. I think until recently they were pretty rare in cultivation. So a lot of the ones that were coming onto the market were just dug up. But
Oh,
now you
okay.
can buy seeds for them quite easily, and they're pretty fast to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, I say fast, that's sort of in the world of cactus and
Relative.
succulents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such an alien world compared to
Yeah.
everything else we deal with in our garden.
Yeah, I think
It's so
everything else
interesting
in the
to hear.
garden is pretty alien to me.
Yeah.
I
Mm,
think Trixie takes care of the borders and all the rest of it, and I just like pottering in the greenhouse and
Yeah,
finding
yeah.
the weirdest plants I can possibly
Yeah.
find.
Sounds like
yeah.
it.
Cool. So we're now on to your 5 edibles, and I really don't know how this is going to go. um,
So,
Prickly
yeah, I mean,
pear, you can eat those, can't you?
you can eat most cactus fruit, I guess. Yeah, they kind of, yeah, you
Full of
can. I think
water.
you can eat them all. I eat them anyway. I don't know if you're
Oh
supposed to.
dear, right. Oh, this is getting exciting.
this is going to be very cool.
No, but as far as like vegetables and edible food, I'm not. It's not really my bag. I don't grow that sort of thing. Although the Lophophora williamsii, the peyote, is a hallucinogenic cactus that you can eat.
Ah,
I don't because I've got a very fragile brain and couldn't handle that sort of thing. But I've got a lot of them. They're really cool. Again, another Mexican plant and parts of sort of Texas and that area. It's really weird because they grow natively, on the border of the USA, but they're completely illegal to grow in the
oh,
USA, which is
okay. So
mad.
they've got just to keep them away from the border, like Kiss
Yeah,
said.
exactly. But because they're used as a drug, but there's like an exception for the Native American church because they use them in rituals and ceremonies
Okay.
and stuff. So the Native Americans are allowed to grow them so long as they're a member of this church.
So, what do they look like? Describe one.
They're like little green squidgy blobs that grow on really close to the ground, and again with a big taproot that goes under the ground. And obviously, not to keep banging on about it, but their poaching is a massive problem with them as well because people, use them as drugs. It's what's the drug in it? Uh, I can't remember. But yeah, people just
Paracetamol?
yeah, that's probably
Paracetamol.
a bit stronger than that. But they
Probably.
So, you say these little green blobs. What sort of size are the blobs?
don't get much more than about 10 centimeters, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's quite big blobs.
Yeah.
And are they a load of blobs together? That one
Yeah, they
plant is
do.
a load
They
of blobs?
grow
Or...
in little clumps after
Right.
a while. They're a single stem for quite a long time, but I think once they get to a certain size, they start to grow pups around the outside. So you see them in habitat. They can be a big mat, a big blob of them.
And hypothetically speaking, if one was wanting to consume one for psychedelic purposes, how is it consumed? Do you know? Do you
I
just
think
eat it, or do you have to
you
cook it
can
up? Or...
dry it and eat it, or you can make a tea from it.
Mm,
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, lots of people know.
Yeah.
Just not us.
No, exactly.
Be weird if we did.
Right, what would be your second edible?
Oh, come on, we're still doing edibles. I don't know, man.
5 of them.
Okay, well,
Edibles.
we've got 5 edibles, but
Do you just
I
want
mean,
me to talk about
do you...
hallucinogenic cactus for a while?
No.
No. Well then, I'm not really into growing edibles.
So out of all the plants you know, just loads, which ones are edible that you know of? So I said prickly pear. I just remember that from when I was really young. Isn't there a
Yeah.
song about eating a prickly pear? I can't remember anyway.
I think so. There's certain types you can eat, and you can eat the fruit from them.
Yeah, could you name some of those?
The thing with prickly pear or opuntia, I hate them. They have these, rather than spines, they have glochids, which are like horrible little like fiberglass type stuff that just gets stuck on you,
Yeah.
and they dig into your skin, and they're horrible.
And you can't get them out, can you? And you just feel
No.
them every time you brush your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
okay.
avoid them. I've got like an outdoor bed in the garden where I've got a few growing, but I don't go near them because I don't like them.
No.
Mm.
Okay.
So I take it that we're probably not going to want that in your dream garden then.
Well, I mean, if you've got the space, you may as well. But
we could hide those away just purely for consuming.
So should I say prickly pear's hidden behind like a lot of other stuff?
Yeah.
How do you eat it? You have to peel off all the outside, slice it open, scoop out the middle.
Yeah, I think there's some that are spineless and glochidless, and you can just eat them. We've got a tortoise in the greenhouse.
You've got a tortoise, did you say?
Oh,
Yeah, Sherman.
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 Oh, Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman. And I believe you can feed them cactus or certain species. This particular one is a Mediterranean tortoise, so he doesn't really eat cactus. But a lot of different species of tortoise do love the Opuntia pads.
2 questions. How old is Sherman, and does he get on with your Portuguese water dog?
So Sherman is 9 now, but it's still a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Is that old, 9 for a tortoise?
No, very
it's
young.
not.
Well, they can live for like 200 years.
Okay,
So
it's really
he's
young.
just a little baby. Tiny little baby. He's great. He lives in the greenhouse, so it's absolutely perfect for him. I've set him up a little house under the bench that's got a UV bulb and heated.
And the
and
deck
we've
chair.
And it's all gravel, and I've put loads of rocks and stuff under the benches for him, and he loves it. He moves around during the day to find the sun.
I bet he loves it.
And he eats a lot. We feed him like dandelion leaves and certain types of weed that he really loves, but throughout the season, like our little circle of where we go hunting for these weeds gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you can't find them anymore. Like, he just decimates the dandelion population for miles around.
And does he hibernate in a box in winter, or what?
He hibernates in a fridge. We've got
Hold on a tick.
That doesn't work. What?
Yeah, it's that's how we hibernate him. It's like a lab fridge, so it's like super accurately temperature controlled. So it's precisely 5 degrees. So we put him in a box.
Oh, sweet.
Wind him down. No, they don't like straw. It gets stuck in their nose and the dust and stuff. They don't like it. What are you laughing at?
No, it's just that I know my dog sometimes when she inhales and there's like a feather, she gets really annoyed because the feather goes up her nose and goes back out again. I was just imagining this. I was just imagining the tortoise doing the same thing.
I grew up with three tortoises, Martin. Had Torsie, Tommy, and George. And George we acquired through a neighbour, was absolutely massive. But Torsie ran away one year and then came home 2 years later. Just
Ran.
ran away.
Yeah, ran away.
Ran away from home and then came back 2 years later. She was just walking down the street. I was walking across the road, did a double take because it was like a rock in the middle of the road.
That's crazy.
And
Where are
Torsie
they
had come
now? Are
back.
they still going?
No, unfortunately, they all died.
Oh.
But this is obviously a long time ago.
There was, I mean, thousands and thousands of them got imported. Back in the day, they were a really, really popular pet. And there was some terrible advice going around. Like, remember Blue Peter? They used to say, just put it in a box and put it in your attic. But that's just literally the worst thing you can do.
Really?
They need a really steady temperature. If it gets too warm, then they wake up and start trying to get out of the box. If it gets too cold, they just freeze and die. Which is why the fridge technique is really good, because it's the perfect temperature to keep them under.
Oh, God.
And yeah, he does really well.
The tortoise got on well with the pigeon. We had a pigeon that would come into the garden. And then there was the dog. So, and the three just sort of got on really well, coexisted quite happily.
Cute. Ario doesn't, I don't think she's ever met the tortoise because we taught her from a very early age that she's not allowed in the greenhouse. And some of the greenhouse doors are always open, but she doesn't go in there, which is
she's
brilliant.
A good girl. Could cause havoc.
Yeah.
We got Lufafuro, Williamsii, Prickly Pears.
Are we still doing edibles?
You got 3 more, so unless you figure something out, it's not my fault.
Okay. Okay, so Trichocereus, which is a type of cactus, nicknamed the San Pedro. They're hallucinogenic too. You can eat them, and they're used in rituals in South America. That's my third edible.
Yeah, third one.
Right, brilliant. We're doing that.
But wait, what do they look like?
They're really tall columnar cactus. There's a few different species. Some of them are pretty much spineless. Some of them have tiny little spines. There's a group of people who are really into them. Like all the different hybrids, and they all have different names, and they try and collect all of them, and they sell for crazy money. It's a thing. I personally am not that into them because I think they kind of all look the same, and also they get too big for the greenhouse pretty quickly. They grow really tall.
How tall
so they're fast growing.
Yeah, well, fairly fast. Yeah, they can. I've got one in the greenhouse now, and it's just about to hit the roof of the greenhouse.
Okay.
So
wow.
But you can kind of chop them up, and they will reroot, and they will grow pups, and they're really easy to chop and propagate like that.
Is that what you're going to do with this one once it gets?
I don't know. I haven't decided. I might give it to somebody who's really into them. Because there's loads of people. I find it bizarre that there's like this huge following for this particular type of plant. I guess maybe it's something to do with the mescaline, but I don't know.
Or you could just cut 2 rounds, or however many rounds you need in the roof of the greenhouse, and just let it get carried going out.
I've seen that happen.
Problem solved.
I've been to greenhouses, and there's the agave where they have those giant
the flower
spikes.
Yeah.
And they just smash through the greenhouse roof one day.
So look, we're getting there. That's 3 down. 2 to go.
Do you know any cacti that aren't hallucinogenic but are edible?
Well, I'm sure there are, but I don't
None that you know.
No, I guess you can eat them all. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
I mean, you die, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's possible.
What's that succulent called, Sweet Pea, that was at Overbeck Garden? That tall one that flowers every
this is
10
a cool
years
one.
or something.
It's called a Poya chilensis, and it has the most incredible sword leaves. And then every 7 years, I think, it shoots up this huge flower, like prehistoric flower, enormous. And you can, from each flower, which is about so big, so like if you put your finger and thumb out, you can get a teaspoon of nectar from it. It's incredible. And then the really cool fact about it is that with the leaves are like literally like knives that in the wild it would spear sheep and goats on the leaves and kind of use the trap them, and this is just so gory. It would
I
then,
like it
as
so
the
far.
as the meat rots, it uses that as its fertilizer, and
No
that's how it lives.
way.
It's really
It
cool.
catches goats.
Yeah,
And
it
I mean,
spears.
it doesn't chase after them.
That's incredible. What is this plant called? I'm going to look it up.
It's called a Puya chilensis, Puya Puya. It's really cool, chilensis, and it's it's literally on cliff sides, so you see it just got these spikes coming out.
Dramatic looking plant.
Does it look like an agave?
It does actually. It's similar,
yeah.
but it's got like super spiky spikes.
And it's monocarpic as well, so after it's flowered, it's
It
done.
dies. Yeah, dies.
Dies.
So you could have one of those.
Can you eat them?
Well,
you drink the nectar.
You could drink the nectar. So
right then, I'll have one of those. Puya
one of those.
chilensis.
Okay, we now have only one left.
Oh my
This is
god!
chilensis.
I don't like growing vegetables. Do you want me to say potatoes? Is that what you're wangling for?
I'd be so disappointed if you named all these alien plants and then you go potatoes.
That would be so.
Do you like potatoes?
I like chips.
There you go. So
There we go. Right.
Are you wanting to grow potatoes?
No.
Okay,
No.
good.
It's
Okay,
pretty
come on.
boring.
Let's think of something which is really.
Okay, think of something that I like that you can eat, that you can grow. See, I thought, because, you said name your top 5 edibles, and I thought, oh, well, I'll just say I don't grow edibles and we'd move on, but you're really pushing it.
Oh, unfortunately, that's how it works. Yeah.
So you're in you've got your greenhouse, so you're in a tropically climate, so you could get away with some really delicious tropically fruits, for example, like a dragon fruit.
Yeah.
You need something for the temperate area.
That was my impression of a dragon fruit.
It's a pretty good impression, but nobody can see it.
It's a shame.
She was standing on her head and spinning around. It was really weird.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Come on, you name an edible.
Dragon fruits.
There we go. Dragon
lychees,
fruits.
rambutan.
Star fruits are quite cool, actually.
A lot of fruit.
Oh yeah, this is true. I mean, agave you can eat, can't you?
You can make tequila.
Tequila.
That'll do.
From agave?
Yeah, that's what tequila's made from.
I didn't know.
Is it?
Come on, guys.
No.
I really didn't. I thought it was...
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm too young to know that.
The blue agave, they harvest them in Mexico. They've got giant plantations. And yeah, that's what they make tequila from, famously. As everybody knows.
Fifth edible.
Is it? So is it blue agave?
Yeah, that's the good tequilas are made from the blue agave, I believe. I'm not a tequila expert.
No. And what's the worm about?
Well, that's mezcal. That's not technically tequila, I think it's different.
Okay.
But that is a worm. I think it's an agave worm. I don't know why they put it in.
You're telling me there's a worm in tequila?
You can buy bottles of tequila with a worm in the bottle.
Oh my god, that is awful. What is wrong with people? Why do they do that?
Sweepy, I knew that reaction would come.
What? That is mad. I mean, okay, all right, I'm good with gory stuff, but come on, let's just be sensible.
Impaling goats on spikes and letting them rot. That's fine.
Come on.
But a worm?
Exactly.
Go
figure.
I don't see the problem.
Right, we've done well. We got 5 edibles out of Martin.
Yay! Can you relay them back to me, please, Sweet Pea? Because I forgot.
I will read them all at the end to you, so
Okay.
you'll see. At the end, you'll see either the most amazing tree garden, or you will probably cry. So we'll see
You're not
what
selling
happens.
it, Sweepy.
Oh no, it's going to be amazing. We've got some really cool plants. Plus, also the Puya chinensis will go really well in the temperate area of the Kew Gardens greenhouse thingamajig.
Okay.
So that will work really well. We're now onto your one-statement tree. What is that going to be?
God damn it. Right. Well, trees. The Araucaria araucana, the monkey puzzle tree.
Oh, that's a great tree.
Well, there
I
you go.
love them. They're probably my favourite.
They're so cool.
Yeah, they're, again, a prehistoric
Mm.
plant. I mean, they've got those spiky triangle leaves, and I'm pretty sure they evolved to stop dinosaurs eating them, right?
Really?
Is this true? Would they
hope
spike the
so.
dinosaurs until the dinosaur died?
Yeah, and they literally, that's where they get their nutrients from.
Use a T-Rex as their
Dinosaur
fertilizer.
corpse.
Have you got any of these plants?
I've got one in a pot.
How big is that?
It's maybe a meter.
In your greenhouse?
No, it's just outside. We can't decide where to plant it. We were talking to Trixie about it, and that's kind of going to be our forever home. So if we move, I don't want to put it in the ground here because we might move one day. I want to put it in the ground.
Yeah.
In our forever home. I've tried to grow them from seed. I tried a lot. They've got this really weird thing where you have to like freeze the seed, and then there's this whole process of trying to get the seed to germinate because they need a long winter, and you have to freeze them and then soak them in water and then I don't know, loads of things. And I never managed to get them to grow. They're just always, the seed always rotted. The seeds are pretty big. Have you seen them? Like big spiky bullet-shaped thing, and you're supposed to stick them in the ground, pointy side down. But I never managed it. But I think it's because I couldn't get the right, like, fresh enough seeds. Across from us, there's a part of the unis. It's pretty cool. The University of Reading. It's pretty much a botanical garden, and they've got a lot of them on there. And I keep stalking them, trying to find some with seeds on, but I've not managed to do it yet. So I gave up and bought one in a pot.
Yeah, they're really cool trees, and a tree I haven't thought about for a long time. So I'm glad you've brought that up. They're beautiful.
Would you like? Would you like a pond or a pool, and you get one plant to go with that area?
Okay.
It's interesting.
What's the difference?
A pool you swim in usually.
Yeah.
And a pond, I suppose you could have a nature pond, which, or a natural pool, which is kind of like a green pool with plants in, but you can swim in it.
Or a pond full of wildlife.
Yeah, it's really what you choose.
Or you might want a container pond, or you might want an enormous chlorine-filled swimming pool. I would
like a giant pond with water lilies in it. Okay. You know, the big lily pads.
Oh.
In the greenhouse with a waterfall.
I really like the sound of this. Is it going to be that Gigantica water lily?
Yep, of course.
With the thorns underneath, they're really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Although, one of the projects that Trixie's tasked me with is building her a hot tub. So maybe can I have a hot tub and a giant lily pond with a what? No.
You got to choose
one.
You guys are tough, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, then the lily pad pond.
Yeah. Lily pad pond, there we go.
Just out of interest, if you had the hot tub, what plant would you have by your hot tub?
A big tree fan. Cover it.
That'd be nice.
A bit of shade.
Would it be a hot tub that with a fire underneath, or would it be
I'm supposed to figure out how to get Trixie a hot tub, and my idea was a wheelie bin. You know, a metal wheelie bin with a gas burner underneath.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't actually sound too bad.
No, because then you could cover it in rocks and stuff, but that wasn't good enough. So it's back to the drawing board with that.
You can get those kits that you can self-build. Those what are they, like a Northern European hot tub?
Yeah.
And where you then make the fire underneath. We have a friend actually who has a holiday home, and she does that. She built all the decking around here, wood-fired, and she's constantly having to feed this fire. She has to get that burning long in advance when she wants a nice warm hot tub.
It'd be nice to do one sort of sunk into a rockery, so it looks kind of like a natural pond, but it's actually a hot tub.
That would be gorgeous.
I hate hot tubs. I don't want a hot tub, personally. I don't like sitting in them, but I would like to sit next to it and share some wine.
But Unfortunately, you're having a pond, so.
Yeah, a lily
And
pond with a grate.
And I've just looked up the name of the lily. It's called a Victoria Amazonica. That's the one that was in
Amazonica.
Birmingham Botanical Gardens, and it's huge. And
Yeah.
there was like a photo of children sitting on the leaves. That's how big the leaves and floaty they were.
It's extraordinary, isn't it, what nature produces?
Yeah. Great. So we have a pond with a waterfall coming into it. Would you like that kind of like center stage in your big greenhouse?
Temperate house.
Temperate
Yes.
house. In the temperate house. Defo in temperate house. Just writing it down. It's a lot to write down. What is going to be your favourite seating area? So this can be chair, swinging chair, hammock, bench, whatever you choose. Plus your drink of choice, who knows what that'll be, and one plant to go with that area.
Seating area in my temperate house, I guess, there's like French cast iron table and chairs that you can
Yes.
get. They're like ornate.
Like a bistro table and chair.
Yeah, just something like that with a little table.
Oh, pretty. What colour would it be?
Black.
Black, of course.
Table and chairs.
I don't know. As soon as I said it, I regretted it.
I don't know why you asked. Black, brilliant. What would be your drink?
I like. I'll go through a lot of things, but at the moment I'm really into like a really chunky stout. You can get these stouts that are like pastry flavored, like all kinds of weird flavors, and they're like 15%, and they're amazing.
So it's basically an alcoholic pudding.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Exactly
okay.
that. But a really, really strong beer, dark beer.
And pastry flavoured
Yeah.
stout.
I also like. Well, I could list drinks all day, but we'll stay with that. Yeah.
But with that pastry flavoured stout, is there a particular make that you like?
There's a few in Holland, but I can't remember the name. I can't pronounce the name. I don't know. There's loads.
Okay. Well, we'll stay with
Chunky
that one.
stout. Just write chunky stout.
Chunky pastry flavoured stout.
There we go. I've got it. And finally, what is your plant for that area to sit next to you?
What?
Like your
next to my table? Didn't we say this?
Or it's
Isn't
on
it
your
tree
table.
fern? Oh, on my table.
No, not on your table.
No, just
your tree
anywhere.
fern was for your hot tub that you're not having.
Yeah.
So do you want a tree fern by the table?
Yeah.
How many?
Just one.
Just one.
He's only allowed the one, Sweet Pea. He's had plenty.
Right, shall I read back the whole thing so that
I can't
you can
wait.
hear? Yes, right. Let's see if I can do this one in one go. Your garden boundary is going to be this huge glass house, like the ones that you see at Kew Gardens, in cast iron with 2 rooms. One is a temperate room, the other a cacti room. Then, if you wanted a shed or greenhouse, you said shed, black one, for your cat litter. Pink
For all your
mullica
cat litter.
for all
Can
cat
you
litter.
tell I was just making this up? Is that right? Carry on, sorry.
Yep, so that's just going to be all in there. Then 5 ornamentals: Ariocarpus, Copiopawa, Aztecium, Velvitia morbilis, and your African Cordyciform Dioscorea mexicana. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce those last ones. Then for your 5 edibles, oh my gosh.
Yeah, go on.
Lophophora williamsii, prickly pears hidden behind a lot of stuff I put in brackets. Trichocereus thumpedro. Your Poya chilensis plant, which is going to look awesome. And blue agave. Then your one statement tree is your monkey puzzle tree. Then finally pond or pool plus 1 plant. You had a pond with a waterfall. And a huge lily, the Victoria Amazonica. Then your favourite seating area plus drink plus plant is your French cast iron bistro table, French, and chairs in black, chunky stout, pastry flavoured, and your tree fern. Just one.
Yeah.
I'd
Sounds
say that
perfect.
sounds really good.
It sounds like quite a sweaty garden.
Why
I
would you
feel
say
like
that?
I would be sweaty and quite humid. I'd be like, when you step off the plane when you've arrived in somewhere hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like
I don't think it'll be hot there because there's lots of ferns and temperate plants.
Yeah.
And it's so it's quite shade clothed, and it's quite cool and shady.
Okay.
Nice. That sounds good.
Apart from the desert bit at the back, which is scorching hot.
Humid and sticky and sweaty.
not humid, dry and
Dry.
Just dry. Yeah, because it
Dry
needs to be
and
dry.
hot. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I've got to say that was completely unique and entirely what we were expecting. We were expecting something completely unique from
Yeah.
Martin, so you didn't disappoint at all. Thank you so much, Martin.
No problem. Thank
This
you.
has been a good old chit chat with Martin.